Right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel on a very slow day in the world of classic rock. But the show must go on, meaning my show. So here I am doing what I do in real time for a few real people, just like you there. And just like me here, all the turkey leftovers are pretty much gone. Um, which is good, right? You want to get rid of the leftovers. You don't want them hanging out in the fridge and getting all gross, moldy. So here's a band that's not gross or moldy. Rose's Pawn Shop. That's the name of the band, believe it or not. And there must be a pawn shop out there called Rose's Pawn Shop somewhere. This is called Punch Drunk Life. Yeah, some of us can really relate to the album title. This is just good music. I mean, those guys are really good. Those guys in the picture, they're really good. If you like stringed instruments, Americana sounding stuff, original music, something very much not like artificial intelligence, this is the album you should go listen to. All right. And they have a few new tracks that they just came out with, but this is their latest full album. I got this off of Amazon a couple of days. So, I know people aren't buying this stuff, but you really should. You really should. Artificial intelligence taking over the world. So, the big news today in the classic rock world is that Chicago is touring with Styx. I'm thinking of Felix Unger and Oscar Madison here, but folks, they're both from Chicago. They're both from the Windy City. In fact, the tour is called the Windy Cities Tour. All the hits, your kind of tour. Where's Frank Oh, Frank can't make it, unfortunately. Who else could make it from Chicago? How about the Buckinghams? The Buckinghams opening up for Chicago. That makes a lot more sense than Styx opening up for Chicago. I'm assuming Styx is going to be, unless they do the coin toss thing where, Styx opens one night, Chicago opens. Chicago has a much deeper catalog than Styx, Anyway, it's called the Windy Cities Tour, and it is set to launch right out of West Palm Beach, Florida, not too far from where I live. So if anyone, well, it's a couple of hours, but if anyone wants to buy me tickets for this, because I'm not paying for it, July 13th, that's the first date. They'll be rusty, and who knows who's actually going to be on stage. Now, we know that Styx is kind of, I guess it's Tommy and JY, and once in a great while, Chuck shows up, Chuck Panozzo, who, in all honesty, is kind of like the only original guy left in this. Now, the band didn't become Styx until JY got there, I think. So JY gets credit for being an original. And with Chicago right now, Robert hasn't been with the band for quite some time. And Jimmy has been missing shows. So it's kind of like Lee. Like it's the Lee Loughnane band with special guest Neil Donnell singing. He's better than Peter Cetera. That's what they keep saying. He's better. In fact, people are sending me these comments like, have you heard them lately? Yes, I've heard them lately. Okay. Well, you're just watching video clips. You really need to go. All right. Well, someone needs to pay for my ticket because I'm not spending $250 on a nosebleed to hear Neil Donnell. Sorry. I'd rather hear Peter Cetera singing like Four Steps Down. All right. That's what I... So the tour is pretty extensive. Starts in July, ends in September in LA. Artist pre-sales begin tomorrow, and tickets will go on sale to the general public on Friday. No, general public, the band is not going to be opening up. I wouldn't mind seeing them. They were pretty good. December 5th. So mark your calendar if you want to go see Styx in Chicago because they're both from the Windy City. What do they have in common? That's about it. It says here in the press release, both groups have toured over the years on a regular basis, but this is the first extensive run of shows that the two bands who each formed in the Chicago area, have done together. Hey, Styx, how come the Kevin Cronin band isn't on this tour? uh, sorry. Maybe REO, because they're from Champaign. They could do the Illinois Express tour. You like that? That's me, all me. Um, Buy me a coffee. In my early days of live performing, this is Tommy Shaw speaking, I had several mentors. Now, he mentions a bunch of people I've never heard of, so I'm not going to go through the list. He just says he's really thankful for all of the mentors in his life. And he says, by the time Chicago released their first album, I had enough experience to begin learning their amazing music on my own. How old was Tommy Shaw when Chicago put out their first album? Like 6? He's just, I mean, he looked really young, okay? Now, the idea of Styx touring with Chicago is a major thrill all on its own. We can't wait to spend this summer with Chicago. All right, cool. So Styx in Chicago. Some people are like, that's fantastic. Why are you complaining? I'm not complaining. I'm just stating stuff and trying to have fun with this. It's a slow day. In the world of classic rock, it's another slow day. Chicago, Lee Loughnane, who probably is the only original guy. Maybe Jimmy. We don't know if Jimmy's going to be there or not. Maybe. Robert hasn't been there for quite some time. And it says here, according to Lee, we are excited about the summer tour. Well, what else are you going to say? It's crap? But the rationale here. Chicago has never toured with Styx before. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. Folks, these two bands are kind of like oil and water, although people don't care anymore. They don't care because you put a symphony behind either one of them and it's all the same, right? Maybe they'll bring in an orchestra. You could have the Chicago Classical Orchestra, then the Styx Orchestra. I don't know. Is maybe Chicago can show up with Styx at the same time and put horns on all these songs that don't have horns on them? That might be cool, right? Just mix and match, do whatever. It's all one big hodgepodge of stuff. Chicago, right? Really good when they went out with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Made sense, right? Horns, R&B, soul, jazz, all that stuff all kind of merged together. How about this for a tour? Kool and the Gang opening up for Chicago. I think they're still around. Bring Kool and the Gang in. Let's have a party. Let's celebrate. Styx is kind of a bummer. And still, I'm not supposed to mention this, but there's still no, and there never will be, Dave, so shut up. Stop talking about Dennis DeYoung. He's from Chicago. He was there with Chuck and John at the very beginning. He was before they were called Styx. Anyway, do I want to go to, like I said, if someone wants to buy me a ticket, I would go like as a people watcher, like a music listener watcher kind of thing. Like, is this real or is it AI? Remember, folks, we've been told over and over that Neil Donnell is better than Peter Cetera. He's better. Who needs Peter? Folks, I would take Peter singing like 4 steps down over whatever they're doing right now. I'm just saying. Now, Styx, do they sound okay? Yeah, they sound okay. They could use Dennis, but they got the guy who spins the keyboard around. What's his name? Oh, yeah, Lawrence. Larry Gowan from Canada. He's good. He's very accomplished, very good at what he does. He's not Dennis. Of course, they have to mention here, Styx also maintained a heavy schedule as of late, releasing a new studio album called Circling from Above in late May, which is a really good album, by the way. I reviewed it and I liked it a lot. So, yeah, it's a good album. Talks about them touring with Kevin Cronin. It didn't work out so well. And Don Felder. I think it might be time for Don Felder to, I don't know, maybe go out on his own, maybe call Don Henley again. And people say, give it up. The Eagles have. Felder's moved on. Wouldn't it be cool if like Felder and Bernie Ledden just came out with an album? Why don't they show up with the Eagles? Would be cool, right? At this stage, probably would just be a little blip on the radar screen for most people. They'd be like, Who's Don Felder? Who's Bernie Ledden? I've never heard of those people. Just play the hits, man. That's all this is now. It's just play the hits. So they're advertising a lot of hits. So Styx in Chicago. They're both from Chicago. So that's what they have in common. It's going to be, that's it though. It's going to be amazing. And maybe Chicago can help Styx out and add some horns to their songs and make them more funky and R&B sounding. I mean, or progressive even. You could do some progressive horn charts. I know if Jimmy, well, I don't know if Jimmy's going to be there. That might be the problem. So, and Jimmy could write a horn chart like right there, and just come up with it. So before I go, because this video is horrible, Rose's Pawn Shop. Check these guys out. Why did I find this? I don't know. It was very random and I like it. So I purchased a copy. I've got all this stuff back here where I purchase copies of things so I can showcase them, and then I forget about them. So I need to do like a rotation, like first in, first out kind of thing, and then bring back the other stuff. FIFO was a big thing when I was in retail. You got to make sure the fresh stuff is out there, but you got to rotate the old stuff to the front. You know what I'm saying? It's like this music. It's exactly the same thing. All right, folks. If you want to support this lunacy here, there's Buy Me a Coffee, there's Patreon, there's PJ Rock Super Chats, and YouTube memberships. All right? So if you want to be part of the insanity, right here, folks. Still here, chugging along. Thanks to everybody. God bless. Remember, Jesus rocks. All right? Even if you don't, Jesus does.